The first kind of music I ever got into was I kind of seriously got into stuff like Simon and Garfunkel and the Beatles and everything when I was a kid. And me and my mate Jimmy used to come in from school when we were about 12, and we used to have two tape recorders, and we'd play the Beatles records on one tape recorder, and then we'd record ourselves singing over them on the other tape recorder. So that was kind of like the first recordings we did. The first gig I was ever at was Shakin' Stevens in the RDS when I was 6, dressed up in the denim shorts, or not the denim shorts, that's the YMCA. No, it was the denim like jacket and the denim trousers and the white shoes. Well, we always had music in the house though. My dad especially used to listen to a lot of 60s music. So I grew up listening to that, and then got into punk then when I got a little bit older. So I've got a fairly good studio in the house, so a lot of times I will just get the songs down to a fairly decent level when they're kind of half mostly written, and then bring them in, and then the lads will kind of put stuff over them then. If they want. It took like 3 years, which is a long time to make an album, and the reason why it took so long was because I wanted to do it myself primarily, so I spent a lot of time learning how to use the technology to do it myself, and then also I wanted to really give it my best shot, so I spent a longer time writing the songs and went back over them a bit. So that's why it took so long. And it was I just felt like the two albums before that, when I listened to them, I felt a little bit like I could have done a lot better with them. So then I was trying to get away from that with this one. But to be honest, now when I listen to it, I still feel like I could have done it a lot better, So it's just, you're just always moving on with the stuff. And like, I've kind of, to me now, Ritual's already finished. Like, I'm moving on already now to other shit, so. The way it went with the Ritual stuff was that I completely redesigned the whole album to play live, using I basically rewrote the whole album again using hardware sequencers and synthesizers. So it became a lot more energetic live than it is on record, and I think people tended to respond very well to the upbeat stuff, like the songs like "I Was a Man" and stuff like that, where it kind of goes off on a crazy kind of techno scenario. And that was good fun, but to be honest, I'm kind of bored of that now. And the new stuff is getting it's a lot more quiet, and I'm just excited about this now, and it's just a different thing again, I kind of look at it like you're always moving forward, and you have to kind of turn your back on whatever you're good at in a way to just keep going, because otherwise, I just have a very short attention span when it comes to that kind of stuff. If you're relying on that stuff, then you're dead. As an artist, you're dead. So in other words, the way I look at it is, if you're doing something different and you're moving forward, then you don't mind going back and playing the old thing. You got to keep things interesting for yourself. I toured with a band, not in a different world, where they were on the road for 18 months and they were playing the same set every night, same 10 or 11 songs every night, and that to me would just be there's just no. It's just you may as well be working in a factory putting biscuits into a box or something, This year there's nothing on the list that I hate, if you know what I mean, and there usually is one or two where you're going, oh man, that's useless, This year, it's a pretty good, it wouldn't surprise me if any of the acts won this year. The way it is, it's great to be nominated, and it's brilliant that the album got the nod. I'm very happy about that. But to me, some success would be just a case of being able to just write songs, to continue to write songs. So in that sense, it's brilliant that it got the nod, though, the album. I'm very happy and appreciative of that. We just end up becoming alcohols when we go on the road, just drinking every day. Some bands can go away and they don't drink and stuff. But for us, it's just full-on debauchery. We start off eating a walnut salad or something, going, right, this time is going to be different. And then 2 days later, we're just, pissed, eating battered sausages, going, every night. So that's something we have to watch, because it reminds me of, where, the Dubliners or something, kind of going around, these crazy, filthy Irish fellas, just stinking up the dressing room, robbing the main band's beer, So it's that stuff has to stop, I suppose. Last year we went over to London, myself and Maddie, and we had to bring all our equipment over on the ferry on two-wheel trucks. Right, we had a Moog synthesizer, guitars, sequencers, everything on two-wheel trucks. So we went on the ferry from Dublin to Holyhead, and then we got the train from Holyhead to Chester or something, and we had to run across this railway bridge carrying two huge two-wheel trucks, right? And we get to London, and then we were trying to lift these trucks. They barely fit into one of them London taxis, the ones. They barely fit in there. So we get to the hotel, and we were staying in a King's Cross Travel Inn for the whole week, right? And then we had 5 gigs lined up, and 3 of them got cancelled in the week. So we had no money. So we literally in the King's Cross Travelodge. Then Matty got the flu, right? So we were sitting in the King's Cross Travelodge, drinking cans of Heineken, looking at cash in the attic on us on like in the afternoon. Going, the only time we left was to buy like Indian food and bring it back to the hotel, and like there was no gigs. And then the gigs that we're on, we had to lift our 2-wheel trucks out up all these stairs. We had bruises all over our arms. There's about like maybe 10 people at the gigs, and it was just like we were just looking at each other. And at one point, actually, Matty had a pair of trousers on, and he was lifting the 2-wheel truck up the stairs, and his belt exploded, and his trousers nearly fell down. And I was just going, "This is it, man. This is it. We've made it, Matty.